All right, there, YouTube. So I've decided that we're gonna document my entire journey, and sink or swim with me. Let's see what'll happen. From the pits of the abyss. A little bit about myself.
That's me. Just another tired and beaten down man living the American dream of American idealism. But that wasn't always the case. Life was different. You see, growing up in the 90s without a father, it was up to my mother to work a lot. So I found my way to the other side of the tracks. Stunted in childhood development from the lack of guided awareness, I gave up on my future at an early age. Bad at learning the game and labeled uneducable, I quit school frustrated, lost in the world of addiction, entrapped. The future of the inescapable underbelly of the low-skilled workforce ahead of me, I found myself becoming quickly doomed into the transpiring destiny of becoming a grease stain in the trap compartment of the machine. I lost my sense of self inside of a bottle of the spirit called wine. Running from my inability to face my mistakes, I fell into the depths of all of the hells this world has to offer. I lost over 10 years of my life, lost inside of my mind, drunk like a skunk, and afraid of myself and its being. A piece of self lost to the underworld. I took my penance, and with this one final breath of insanity, managed to gain a sense of purpose. I wasn't stupid as I was taught, but uninterested in their approach to educate, or what I found indoctrinate. So at the old age of 33, I began to read books, a lot of books. Books on metaphysics, psychology, theology, and the behavioral psychology, the history of the world. This topic of discovery became my obsession. Then I realized I wasn't alone. This hive mind behavior I assumed was causing tunnel vision, and it focused my defective personality. It was infectious to everyone. It in fact had spread into the majority of the population, bred into our persona from grade school. We are separated by clubs and labeled by color so that we may play our part in the machine. An actor on the grand stage of the cybernetic psychology, playing their role in the Industrial Revolution and fulfilling its 9-to-5 overlords' Zionistic dystopian dreams of playing Pirates of the Caribbean and being held as king for the day. The white rabbit of mythology had begun its descent home to the head of the story of American development, and it wasn't a story of organic inspiration, but one of organized design. The Death Note compressed into a new world order with standing hope and continuity, just long enough to manifest their destiny through the labor of common folks' sweat equity and embezzlement of their social securities. The fact of the matter was, they made the whole goddamn thing up, and I was indeed institutionalized into their reality. Awakened into the fucking world of John Carpenter they live, I tried my best to think of what would Jesus do in this situation. So I got baptized. Nothing really happened. So I read the Bible, but only again words that approached my attention. So I did what any logical person would do. I began a 180-day course of psychedelic therapy paired with corresponding meditation and mystery school research. That led me to the Hermetic principle and the realization that everything is one. Later I discovered Jesus says this in his red letters in the Bible. The fact is, the one world methodology is already inside of us all, implanted by design from the very beginning. It's called nature. We have been hypnotized by a Pied Piper, by a symphony of destruction orchestrated by our masters into believing we are separate from the Godhead when we are one and the same as a collective experience. We have all been programmed to believe a false narrative reality of observation juxtaposed by our masters by bright lights, the substitute for the real. In this case, the only option being by design the reality of false narrative and twinkling stars. In my slight travel across America, I've seen every town look exactly the same, with a new label slapped on the town's billboard. The illusion of ingenuity is mired in the fact that we made the whole thing up as a social experiment for their entertainment and financial gains. As a factory numbered individual, choice A and choice B are the same. It's just priced differently, proportioned to size. We have been placed into a scenario where we are the actors in the mystery Babylon society of New Rome. Scriptures reveal our role as we select our avatar existence into determined circumstances, living our remaining days in the all eyes on me experiment laboratory nation of reality television culture, where Nazi chemical engineers attempt to engineer the world and turn the frontiersmen of the wilderness into beta male fairies of the forest, and lock their minds into a file-sharing program on the metaverse hardware, always force the pipe dream idea of a brave new world outside of the organization we have been so neatly harvested into.
I don't know what I want. Well, when you don't know what you want, you've reached the state of desirelessness. When you really don't know. But you see, there's a beginning stage of not knowing, and there's an ending stage of not knowing. In the beginning stage, you don't know what you want because you haven't thought about it, or you've only thought superficially. And then when somebody forces you to think about it and go through and say, yeah, I think I'd like this, I think I'd like that, I think I'd like the other, there's the middle stage. Then you get beyond that. Say, is that what I really want? In the end you say, no, I don't think that's it. I might be satisfied with it for a while, and I wouldn't turn my nose up at it. But it's not really what I want. Why don't you really know what you want? 2 reasons that you don't really know what you want. Number 1, you have it. Number 2, you don't know yourself. Because you never can.
Through my 20s and 30s, I struggled to understand where I fit into the world. Life gave me the hard road, and I took the walk alone. Somewhere in the middle of the road, I found I wasn't alone. But the path we walk isn't the one we choose, but the one God sent us to walk on. And that walk is hard.
I can't hide myself. I don't expect you to understand. I just hope I can explain what it's like to be a man. It's a lonely road, and they don't care about what you know. It's not about how you feel, but what you provide inside that home. Yeah, I know this life can really beat you down. You wanna scream, but you won't make a sound. Got so much weight that you've been holding, but won't show any emotion. As a man that goes unspoken, that we can't cry when life gets hard. Unconditional loves for women, children, and dogs. We know that we just have to play our parts, and don't nobody give a damn about our broken hearts, yeah. As a man, we gotta pave our way. Our only function is to work and slave. There's no respect for you if you ain't paid. You're disregarded as a human and you can't complain. And if you ever make it up and actually reach that place and find a woman that you love and give her your last name, you'll feel the things that you provide is only why she stays. And when you try to explain, you'll say, I can't hide myself. I don't expect you to understand. I just hope I can explain what it's like to be a man. It's a lonely road, and they don't care about what you know. It's not about how you feel, but what you provide inside that home. Don't give up, keep fighting. As a man, our sun is our horizon, and our father's actions play a role, and we end up like them. So they can't let us see them hurt, cause we'll embody what they do and start a generational curse. No wonder most men are so depressed, all the things that they can't express. They go to war, get thrown on the shelf, then go back to war with their mental health. Then grab that bottle and ask for help, try to pull themselves out of hell, then fall back down and then realize that they're gonna have to do it themselves. It's the circle of life. As a man you provide, they don't know what you're worth till the day that you die, and that's when they start crying. Then move on to a man to confide in. That's why we feel we can't hide ourselves. We don't expect you to understand. We just hope we can explain what it's like to be a man. It's a lonely road, and you don't care about what we know. It's not about how we feel, but what we provide inside that home.
I know a lot of men don't feel the same, but I don't feel ashamed letting the water fall when my heart's ablaze. Daddy taught me that was how to put a fire out. So when I'm hurting, I don't mind to cry my eyes out. I only have a few examples of a man in my life, and only one who made perfection lifelike. So I try to remember 2 words when I don't know what to do. Don't forget Jesus wept and brother, so can you.
I can't hide myself. I don't expect you to understand. I just hope I can explain what it's like to be a man. It's a lonely road, and they don't care about what you know. It's not about how you feel, but what you provide inside that home.
I say it's all in my head, and I guess that makes sense, cause everything I feel, I keep in, cause it's different for men. We talk about our feelings, we're called oversensitive. We're asked to strike a balance, it doesn't exist. So we bottle everything up in our minds. We grow cold, dark and numb as we slowly die. You ever wonder why it's mostly men who commit suicide? We figure why now we're already dead.
I can't hide myself. I don't expect you to understand. I just hope I can explain what it's like to be a man. It's a lonely road, and they don't care about what you know. It's not about how you feel, but what you provide inside that home.
You picked me up when I was broken. You pieced together words that were not spoken. You found a way to see me as I was, even when the world doesn't show you the same love. You're expecting to do everything on your own, providing and hide all the feelings that you hold. But your heart is deserving of showing. I see you for who you are. I hope that you know it.
I can't hide myself. I don't expect you to understand. I just hope I can explain what it's like to be a man. It's a lonely road, and they don't care about what you know. It's not about how you feel, but what you provide inside that home.
Yeah, patiently waited for God to show me signs I need. I'm not the man for the job, all the things I can't be. Put all my feelings aside, I think that I'll be better off when I'm not alive. Fought through depression for years and I tried to hide it. Almost put pressure and pulled it, but I decided to give it all that I can. But this what it's like to be a man.
I can't hide myself. I don't expect you to understand. I just just hope I can explain what it's like to be a man. It's a lonely road, and they don't care about what you know. It's not about how you feel, but what you provide inside that home.
I guess we'll do a backstory here. My name is Steve. I grew up as a skateboarder, as a latchkey kid, and fell into the same thing as a lot of people. Got into some drugs and alcohol types of things. At 33, I quit that shit. I'm 40. I spent the last 7 years in a spiritual journey, almost. I came out of a rehab where I spent a year to get my head straight. I wrote my plan. My plan was to get here. I wanted to get back to the life I was supposed to have, which is hard to do, especially at that age when you're aging. So, I worked my way up, took some management jobs. I went and worked with autism and IDD to learn that. I have some people in my family who are affected by that and much interests me. Neurodivergent spectrum disorders. I have ADHD myself. So getting to know the DSM-5 and kind of helped center me, along with some different spiritual tactics. I digress. So we worked our way up through the management system, back into facilities maintenance, through what I call working apprenticeships. Most of this stuff I feel like I know in a different lifetime. I'm just activating it as I go through my journey. It's like literally like the Matrix, which is weird as shit, but I don't know, not the Matrix, but whatever. Like a video game, like you power up. I'll be standing there sometimes, like not knowing something, and it'll just happen. The door will open. It's like one of them tappy games you have on your apps where you just tap it a million times and then all of a sudden it works. That's life. So keep trying, keep going, and that's what brought me here. So I recently got laid off. It was the first time in my life I got to experience being a normal person getting laid off. So, scary feeling. I have much respect for people who have gone through this and survived and find their way. You know, life's a tough journey, bro. Everyone's out to get you, it feels like. But it's not. It really isn't. It can be that way if you change your perspective and just be positive. It's not like that. There are so many helpful people out there. The past year of my life has actually been real. Oh my God, not even. The past 5 years has been a magical journey. I started my YouTube channel, Exploring the American Frontier, and I went in and documented my grandpa's history, and I found out so much about Western Pennsylvania and our roots as the American system and how we are established. And I learned a little bit about business law and, you know, and starting a business and running a business, and then functionally running a larger scale business and operating in larger scale businesses in my industry, and then seeing if I can, you know, at least do things functionally at a commercial level. I've worked residential heating and air conditioning installation service since 2003. 2005. Is when I kind of dabbled getting my feet wet. Then 2003 is when I went to school. But getting to the end of this wrong framed video, the rest of them won't be in this frame. This is kind of a weird way to do this, so I apologize. But maybe I can put something beside just to make it more interesting. My dog is going to continue to jump on my dirt steps, so I hope you come along on this journey and watch. I guess it's just from out of the coal mines of Western Pennsylvania, burning fire and becoming electric eye. So let's finish these stairs and follow me on my journey as we get into the world of... No, you don't have to follow me at all. I think what I want to actually say is kind of like... Our mission here is... And our mission is, I hope people will join me. If not, it'll just be me and Jesus. What I call Jesus is Jesus in the red letters. Jesus is the one who says to come walk with him and take the hard way. You know, take the journey of life. Life's fun. It's hard. It's Job. It's a J-O-B. Life is a job, so get with it. But chase your dreams. Do more. Chase your fears. I'm afraid to do this. It's a scary world. I have like a lot of paranoid tendencies. But in my journeys, I've learned a lot of people do. We just have to overcome them. Think positive. Count on other people. Don't isolate. Isolating stinks. And then trust God. Whatever you want to call God. You don't care, I don't think. I think we made up names, but I digress again. Anyways, let's get handy.